What's happening, everyone? Welcome back for another episode of the Chamber Podcast. My name is Rob Johnson, and joining me in the studio today is Candie from Meals on Wheels.
Yay.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, Candie, why don't you give us a proper introduction to your first and last name, as I can't seem to get it right today.
I'm Candie Hovarter, and I'm the Outreach Director for Livingston, Western Oakland, Meals on Wheels.
Yeah, see, that wasn't so hard.
Yeah.
Why can't I do that? Well, Candie, we were talking in the pre-show, and I got to tell you, just listening to what you do daily is a missional thing that you're doing, and it is awesome. You know, Johnny and I were listening to you tell all these stories and all the work that you do, and it's just phenomenal. Like that is the word of the day. Johnny is phenomenal. And I am excited to dive into what it is you do, how you serve the community, and how other people, more importantly, how more people can get involved in what it is you do.
Well, we'd love that.
Well,
Thanks.
good. Well, excellent. So why don't you start off by telling me a little bit about Meals on Wheels, kind of the mission here in Livingston County, and then we'll dive a little bit more into how you got involved.
Okay. So Meals on Wheels is nationwide, but the one I work for, we serve all of Livingston and a lot of Oakland County. So we serve a hot meal Monday through Friday, and really that's what all the Meals on Wheels are supposed to do. Some of them can't do it. You know, they just don't have the staff to pull that kind of thing off. But that's what we do, Monday through Friday. If it's horrible weather, we don't go out. We can't risk our volunteers' safety in the weather, and we'll gear up for that. You know, if we know it's going to be bad, we'll bring them frozens the day before. Otherwise, we bring them shelf-stable food they can have periodically. And our volunteers are a huge part of our program. We have well over 600 now, since we serve all those. We do about 1,500 meals a day. So it's good stuff. They don't have to get it every day, but we do, you know, Monday through Friday. And now and then I'll eat it if I'm in the office or something and there's an extra one and it's good. And they're glad to have it. But the meal for us is just part of it. The other part is checking on them, seeing if they're okay, talking to them. I had a lady today say, come see my Christmas tree. It's the most beautiful one, you know? So she had me come in and look at it. Generally, you don't go in the house. Yeah. But, you know, she wanted me to come in and wanted to share that with me. And why not? You know, it was pretty and it was fun to hear about.
It was nice for her, too, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
And nice for her to probably talk to people and see people on a regular basis. So how does Meals on Wheels learn of the need of the people in the community?
Well, sometimes like a nurse or something will say, you know, you should get on this. There's a man that I have met, and that's how he got on it. You know, he was alone. How was he going to make food? You know, he's older, and she wanted him to stay in contact with people. So all our volunteers go through a background check, and they tend to be friendly, you know, and nice anyway if they're going to do this kind of thing. So that gave him food, you know, and it has to meet all the national guidelines, you know, for nutrition, and then somebody to chit-chat with.
Yeah. And you were telling me so what's the general cost of the program?
We ask for $3.50 a meal, but if they can't afford it, we'll still feed them. It doesn't have anything to do with income, which is what some people would think. Yeah. It's over 60 and homebound. That's about all it is. You know, if they go to the store now and then or church, you know, it's not like they're out, I'm going to golf outing. You know, I don't need it tomorrow. You know, we just can't devote time to that because we have so many other people that really need it.
Right.
And that's it.
That's fantastic. So tell me about how you got involved with this program.
Well, I used to work for a vet, and I met the Meals on Wheels people at a fashion show. And we just sat at the same table, and we're talking. And
like a veteran or a veterinarian?
Veterinarian.
Okay. I wanted to clarify, because then you said fashion show, and that doesn't really fit with either one of those.
Well, it was a chamber. You know, it was chamber fun. Chamber does fun stuff. And we were just chit-chatting and, you know, exchanged cards. And like 2 weeks later, they called and they said, would you be willing to do that for us? Because I did marketing for the vet.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. So now I only work for Meals on Wheels. But I do, you know, I go to events. I belong to a lot of chambers. I do fun things with them. I belong to a Rotary Club, and it's good. It's good.
It's amazing how much need there is in a county, and I'm not gonna say it's largely unknown, but like when you're giving me these numbers of 1,500 meals per day, and you still need, I would imagine you still need more help. There's still more meals I would imagine you could cook, right?
Well, we're not on a wait.
Okay, that's good.
Which is good. Yeah. A lot. Sometimes they're on a wait. They're doing all they can. We need volunteers. We really need volunteers in West Bloomfield. I had a meeting today with the township supervisor there to talk about it because next week we're down 9 drivers. And there's, 4 routes a day, 5 times a week. That's 20. We're missing 9 drivers.
Yeah.
And I was down there today on a route. That's why I got a sweatshirt and a hat on. We just all pitch in and just do what we can, but we need help there. And you'd be surprised at where the need is. You wouldn't even think about it. But some of our seniors live in motels.
Yeah.
We're serving them in motels. But I've also served people that live in Oak Point. It runs the gamut. We serve all kinds of people. People that just get up, they just can't make it anymore. Maybe they can't open cans, So we're there to fill in the gap and check on them and do the right thing.
So how do the drivers work? Is that a lot of volunteer?
That's all. It's pretty much all volunteer.
Pretty much all volunteer.
Yeah, and they, things like this help get volunteers. Sometimes I'll be somewhere and I'll just talk about it. Some people grow up volunteering and they hear about the Meals on Wheels cause and want to get involved. And, like I said, we do it Monday through Friday, but somebody could say, I can do Mondays, or I'll do every other Wednesday, or I'll be a sub. We need it everywhere periodically because people go away for the winter. Or, maybe a lot of our volunteers are older themselves, so maybe they're going to have, some kind of surgery and they can't do it. So we always need help. But it's a good day. I don't mind doing it. It's fun to talk to them, and they have interesting tales. I met a lady in Hamburg when I was delivering blizzard boxes, which is what we do at the beginning of winter in case we can't come. These are one of the ways we keep them from, being hungry. And, I was talking to her, and she was showing me around her house that her kids remodeled, and she said, my brother was the Marlboro Man. What are the odds of that?
That's wild.
And she showed me a picture of him and told me a story about how he got to be that. They have all kinds of interesting things to share.
That's super cool. So the blizzard boxes, I imagine so basically the goal is to pack a freezer so that way they have some.
Well, the blizzard box is a shelf-stable food.
Okay.
So it's like peanut butter, tuna fish, crackers,
okay,
soup, things that they can just make in case we can't come.
Okay.
So that's that. But when they join the program, we give them a bag of food, similar kinds of things, but that might have like a box of cereal in it or something. It just depends. Just to get started, they have that. When they get to a point that they need Ensure, which is that, high-calorie protein drink, I think it is, we'll deliver that too. For some of these people, we're it. We're the food source. They don't have any money. I delivered today to a woman that doesn't have a phone. So I rang the buzzer 3 times, and she didn't come. And I knew where her apartment was because I've been there. This was in West Bloomfield. So I walked down there. I was banging on the window. She didn't get that. It was all dark in there. So I called the office. There's a protocol to go through if they don't answer the door. And so the girl that answered the phone said she'd call the police because they have a non-emergency number. And they went over and checked on her. And she slept through it. So, thank goodness for that because I know her now.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my gosh, what if something happened?
Could be something worse, right? Yeah.
It certainly could.
It's better to do that.
And that does happen. And he woke her up and he took her to get her phone fixed, which I'd been trying to get her to do for a while, but she didn't, if they don't have anybody to support him and help him. But here he was. He said, we got cars out today. I can help you. And he took her to the T-Mobile store.
Wow.
I know.
How nice.
It is nice. And then they called me to tell me. We try and, if something like that does happen, we try and let our drivers know because, they're concerned.
Yeah,
Yep.
You're invested.
Yep. And I was, and I'm glad.
I love that.
Because I, want to know how she's doing. And
what I love about this and just kind of hearing, and if you're an audio listener, you're missing out because looking at Candie's expression as she's telling me these stories, there's so much energy and enthusiasm and passion. Like it's exciting to see that this program isn't like you guys just trying to throw frisbees of lean cuisines through people's windows like a newspaper boy. Yeah. Like there's actually a process and a procedure and a care behind it. Yeah,
you know what? And I do. Like, I don't mind it when they say do it. I kind of dress for it, and I'm ready to go. And my kids will come, and we did Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day, and with help from the community. That Livingston County Conservation Club, they make our Livingston County food, and they distribute it, and the whole thing. We don't have to put forth any money towards that, and then we can give our people a day off, and our seniors get a Livingston, or, get a hot Thanksgiving meal if they want it that day. They have to ask for it. Because some of them do have family that'll come get them, but plenty of them don't.
Yeah.
And then we do Christmas Day, and my boys came with that. That was rough because of the snow and
Oh yeah.
it was so cold, but we were all speaking when it was over, so that was nice.
That's good. That's a win.
And then we'll do Easter, so they get special days just like anybody else. It's nice.
That's awesome. So, what do you see is kind of the biggest barrier from, especially the senior citizens? You said 60 and over and homebound. What do you think is the biggest barrier for programs like Meals on Wheels to make sure that they're fully staffed and they have all the resources that they need? Or what could be better, I guess I'm asking.
Well, we always need more money, to help pay for some of these low-income people. But like I said, we do get donations, we try and cater. The money thing would help. Volunteers are huge, especially in the wintertime because so many of them go south. And, you can't blame them. Who wouldn't go, right? Hot and sunny weather. So volunteers are big. We could really use that. We are 45% grant funded. We get it from an agency called AAA1B in Southeast Michigan. And they're the ones that really got us involved or asked us to take over that new area, the Ferndale, Southfield, all way east of here. But just money and help, volunteers trying to help us do it.
Yeah. And what's one thing that you want people to kind of take away from kind of your platform today of just kind of talking about Meals on Wheels and its mission? What's one thing that you'd like people to do?
Well, help us. And I think that they would feel good about doing it. It's kind of fun to talk to them. And a lot of them are lonely. Do the right thing and check on them. And, how are you? They need it. They really need it, and they're appreciative. And you might, have something in common with them.
I love it. And where do people go to get involved? What's the best thing for them to do?
Well, we have a website, mealsonwheelsmi.org, or you can call the office, 810-632-2155. We're on Facebook. We do all that kind of thing.
Send you a DM.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
See, it's 21st century. You can DM Meals on Wheels, and they'll get you squared away with a volunteer position.
I know it. And you feel good about doing it. You really would.
I love it. It's exciting. I learned a bunch in that I didn't even think about kind of the wellness check perspective of that, and it makes a lot of sense that that's built right in there, and that you guys have a protocol for what happens if someone doesn't answer. Except in my head, if you would have asked me, what do you think Meals on Wheels does when no one answers, I would assume you just leave. I wouldn't even think about the wellness check. I
know. And here it happened today. What are the odds of that? I can talk about it.
Yeah, right.
Because it's not common. I don't normally ever have that happen. Sometimes they won't be there, and then you call them first, and they may be like, "Oh, I forgot to cancel. Somebody's going out, taking me out to lunch, or maybe I have a doctor's appointment."
Yeah.
But when that doesn't go through, that's what we do. We're not DoorDash. We're feeding them and we're checking on them. And also, what we do is we'll feed their pets if they have a dog or a cat.
Really?
Yep. We'll bring them pet food if they ask. Yep. That's totally community driven. We can't put any money towards that. But sometimes, a business will have like a pet food drive for me, and then we use that to give them. We want them to keep their pets.
Wow. That's really cool.
It is cool. Yeah.
I feel like every time I ask a question, I'm learning a new layer of what Meals on Wheels does. Pretty soon, you'll be like, we do taxes and audits too. Like, just have to ask.
Well, we try and get them help if they need it. Like Habitat for Humanity helps sometimes when we need it. We try and get them those kind of resources.
That's cool.
Or like Livingston County
and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Catholic Charities.
Yeah.
They help too. We try and do what we can. To try and give them some kind of resources. But
that's important.
I know, because a lot of times they don't know who to call. And they can call the office if they want. Sometimes they will just call because they're bored, or I loved it for lunch today, or why'd you serve that? I don't like that. You know what I mean? They call, and their office people are always so nice. Always so nice.
So I guess one last question that I have here, Candie, is let's say Meals on Wheels didn't exist. What would their option be?
I don't know. I guess they'd have to try and maybe get churches to try and help them. And I think there's some...
no state... I guess my point, there's no state-run program or anything like that for
I don't think so.
Okay.
But, we do get some funding.
Sure.
I don't think so. But, there's some of these food pantries that will help deliver.
Yeah.
They're not totally without, but, they can count on us. That's what we do. And, the other day it was chicken Parmesan. It looked pretty good. You know what I mean? Our food is good, you know, and we're
Yeah.
glad to have it. And yeah.
I'm sure they are too.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's what I was thinking about was like, it would be a much more scaled down, as you said, the churches and communities would kind of bear that responsibility. And you guys seemingly have brought a level of organization and consistency
Oh,
to
it's
something
huge.
that's absolutely needed.
It's huge. You know, all these routes, I think there's 60 routes a day.
Wow.
That's a lot. It's a lot to handle and maintain and make sure you have all these people. One person, Lucy, is the volunteer coordinator. That's all she does, is make sure people are there. She's the one that calls me and says,
Does
I
the
need
rounding.
help.
Okay.
Can you help today? And I say, yeah. You know, she's the one that calls. And then she's got a list of subs of people that she can call in case they can. And, oh, it's huge, you know.
What do you think early on in your life kind of geared you for something like this? Has this always been kind of a part of who you are?
No, but you know, I love talking. It's fun. And I kind of get something out of like helping people out,
Yeah.
doing the right thing, you know, and they just want to stay home. You know, you can't blame them wanting to stay in their own house. And that's what we're trying to let them do. You know, age in place. That's what it's called.
I see.
Is let them stay there. And I think that's nice. You know,
Yeah.
they're familiar with that. As taxpayers, we should want them there because usually their homes are paid for. So it's cheaper as taxpayers to let them stay there. And I like talking.
Yeah, I think even from an emotional perspective, you know, sometimes taking someone out of their home they've been in 40, 50 years is not always the best thing on someone's body emotionally from a stress point of view.
Oh, yeah. You know, they're not used to that.
No.
It certainly affects them.
No, I've been through it a couple of times in our family, and it's not a pleasant experience for the person leaving. So
I know, really disruptive to them.
yeah, absolutely. It's kind of taking away everything that they know in their day to day.
Right. So yeah, we're just trying to do that. I don't know. I like doing something that's helpful.
Yeah,
You know, doing the right thing.
You're a tremendous person, Candie. I appreciate you stopping
You
in
too.
today.
Hey,
thank
thanks.
you. I really do appreciate everything that you do in the community for Livingston County. That's amazing.
Well, and out there too. I'm trying to get out there, you know.
Yeah, out to the east.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's even more population dense.
Oh yeah,
Just,
we
you
serve
know,
a lot more people out there than
I
I think
would
we
imagine
serve.
so.
You know, 350, 375 here in Livingston County. The rest of them are all out there. You know, the housing is so much more condensed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would imagine so. The farther east you go, the more need there's going to be.
Oh yeah, a lot. But you know, the little towns are cute, and you know, like I said, they have interesting stories. You know, you never know what they're going to have to say, and they're just always so glad to have somebody check on them. And how are you? You know, one lady said, nobody ever asked me that.
Oh wow.
I know it, and I always try.
Yeah.
How are you today? How is she? You know, even if it's a caregiver that comes to the door, you know, you need to see them and make sure they're okay.
Sure.
You know, that's
Well, it's those little things. It's those little touches that, you know, that matter or sometimes stand out the most in a person's day.
yeah,
No, that's a good thing.
it is a good thing. So yeah. There's no wait if they call. You know, we try and get them in the next day or two.
Oh wow.
So that's good too, right? Some of
Absolutely.
them are turning people away because they just, like I said, can't man it. But
Sure.
we're glad to do it. We got a new building that we're working on. We're hoping to get in there late spring. And then it'll be easier for us if we can have everything in one place.
And that's in spring. You guys are looking to move into that?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Where is that at in connection with where you are right now?
Well, it's still in Livingston County. That was a stipulation. We got a grant. It was a stipulation of the grant that remain in Livingston County, but that's where we are now. So
Yeah.
it really makes sense to be
Sure.
here anyway. It is the former Bar None.
Oh wow.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad a great establishment's going there. So
I know. You know, and they're really nice people. I met them.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a chamber kind of event. He gave me a gift card.
No,
one of
they're
the family
phenomenal.
members.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. They do a ton. Like,
Yep.
you know, it's that's awesome that place is being repurposed.
I know it.
It's a shame to see it sitting there.
I
you
know. Well, and they wanted us to have it. You know, nice. They see the need and they worked with us on it, and
Beautiful building.
now it's ours. It'll be perfect. It'll
Yeah.
be easy access to go east.
Yep.
You know, a little bit harder to go west, but we don't. That's all right.
No, it's not
You know, nothing's going to be exactly
no.
what we need.
No. Well, that's awesome. So, Candie, I'll make sure all the information for people to get a hold of you, the office, be able to volunteer, donate, whatever that looks like, all that's going to be in the show notes for the episode today.
Fabulous.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, friends, that's going to wrap up this week's edition of the Chamber Podcast. Please be sure to take a look at the show notes and see what you can do to work with, partner with, donate to Meals on Wheels. If you have any questions at all, you can reach out to our friends at the Chamber or us here at Wayne Media. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.